The Oracle Network.
The Oracle Network.
Look deeper.
This is Dos Pequeños,
A funnier look at the paranormal in New Mexico.
with your co-ghosts, Eric Carter Landine.
And Alex.
What's up, Alex?
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
I am doing fucking good, man. I'm excited about our new show.
Yeah, me too, my man.
I think we're going to have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
So, if you don't know, Alex is a good friend of mine who's been on a couple of episodes of True Consequences. And we both decided we wanted to do some crazy shit and focus on paranormal stuff in New Mexico. And we came up with this concept. So that's exciting. We've been talking about this case for a long time. I feel like we've been talking about it for several months already.
Just me and you?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's been, at least been several months.
This is something that I wanted to do on True Consequences, but it makes more sense, I think, on Dos Pequeños. So I'm excited. Just so you guys know, this is not going to be nearly as serious as True Consequences was. You get to see like the silly side of me and Alex, because Alex is crazy and a lot of fun to hang out with. So I'm excited to do this. Okay, enough blabbering. So today we're discussing the most infamous UFO and alien case in the world. One that rocked the country and continues to be a discussion of conspiracy theorists and alien enthusiasts. We're going to kind of tell the story together. And I was, honestly, Alex, like I was not expecting this to be what it turned into. As we started researching it, like I legitimately didn't know about all the stuff that we found. So I'm excited to share this with people.
There's a lot of detail.
There's a lot of detail, but I don't know, like part of me was really hoping that we would have been like, we found the aliens and here's the proof.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will have to wait and see.
There's still hope. We could still find them. So it all began in a tiny New Mexico town, which was called Roswell. It's still called Roswell. In 1947, this event happened. Roswell is a town in southeastern New Mexico. It starts to look more like Texas around there. Starting to get more flat, not as big mountains, maybe some hills and things like that, but it's still very desert.
A lot of ranch land.
A lot of ranch land, a lot of farming. And it is, Roswell, of course, is home to the most famous UFO incident in the world. Currently, the population of Roswell is nearly 47,000 people, and it is the fifth largest city in New Mexico. Yeah, it says a lot about how big New Mexico is. If that's the fifth largest. Yeah.
47,000.
Yeah. I think the second largest is like 99,000 or something like that. Maybe 100,000. So Roswell's also home to the New Mexico Military Institute, which is a boarding school for youth that need more discipline in their lives. People's families, like where I grew up in Socorro, would always threaten their kids to send them there.
Oh yeah, my folks did that all the time. I didn't think they were actually real places. I thought they were just
no. It's in Roswell.
They were just on TV just to scare kids.
No, it's in Roswell. It's there. It's real. In 1947, the population was estimated to be around 25,000, and something important to note is Roswell is fairly close to White Sands Missile Range, as well as the Trinity site where the first nuclear bomb was detonated in the U.S.
Have you been out there?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that called the Valley of Fire through there?
Yeah, dude, that's called the Valley of Fire.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening in other places of the country and the world, there's this. So if you take highway, I think it's 285 is what the highway is. Maybe. 185. It's something like that. Anyway, so you go from my hometown, you drive about 20 miles south on I-25, take a left, and you drive, past Ruidoso, past Carrizozo, through all these places. And there's this one part where it's all just like lava rock. So there was just like a massive volcanic eruption, and everywhere you look is black, except for like some of the cedar trees and stuff that are popping up around. I've seen a ton of tarantulas there before, like in the fall. Every year, the tarantula migration happens in southern New Mexico, and like you're just driving down the highway and you just like hear them crunching under your tires.
I'm so glad. I haven't seen that. I've only come across one tarantula in New Mexico in the wild.
What would you say if I told you I got out of my car?
You're dumb. I mean, I guess tarantulas don't scare me as much as other spiders.
Yeah, I mean, they're not venomous to humans.
Yeah,
and they're pretty gentle.
Yeah, they're gentle.
They just walked over my shoes and stuff. It was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it. So if you are into that kind of stuff, go check it out. It's usually like in October, November timeframe. And they just
if you like running over spiders,
hundreds of thousands of spiders on the road. It's crazy. Anyway, so that whole area is a really cool area. There's like a little scenic lookout and stuff, and that's on the way to Roswell. And Roswell eventually just became super famous for the UFO incident, but that would take some time, right?
It does. I think it does take some time, like 20 odd years.
At least, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometime in June 1947, William Brazel, a local ranch hand, discovered some debris in a field. He described the debris as a large area of bright wreckage made up of rubber strips, tinfoil, a rather tough paper, and sticks.
Well, I mean, when he says sticks, do you think he means like
wood?
Balsa wood sticks?
Yeah, probably.
Or like sticks from a tree?
He's just like,
I'm just saying.
It's just like a
paper and sticks.
It sounds like a bunch of garbage, right? Like
it sounds like, yeah, it was just someone went to the land to drop some stuff off.
So he later came back to retrieve the materials with his family, and on July 5th, he heard reports of flying discs, and he wondered if he actually found some parts of a bona fide UFO.
You're welcome, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. On July 7th, Brazel saw Sheriff Wilcox and whispered kind of confidential like.
Kind of
confidential
like.
That he may have found a flying disc. So like he goes into the sheriff's office like, hey, psst. Let me tell you a secret.
I need to tell you something confidentially like.
And this was the beginning of a massive UFO conspiracy that spanned decades.
You still hear about it, man.
Yeah.
The official story from the government was that what Brazel had found was nothing more than just weather balloon parts that had crashed, which when you think about what he had talked about, what he had found, I'm like, okay. Rumors began to spin out though in the small community of Roswell, and many people suspected extraterrestrial sources as the cause of the crash. Several theories were floating around that one or more spacecraft had crash landed in Roswell and that the alien occupants of the crash were recovered by the government and that the military had used the weather balloon as a cover-up.
What?
Doesn't sound like something they would do.
The government doesn't lie to us.
They don't lie. They don't cover things up. Anyway, eventually.
Hi, FBI.
Eventually, the story from the military would change several times, at least 4. The most recent official story that was released as part of a Freedom of Information Act request was that what was found were parts of a balloon device.
Oh.
And so the device was connected to a secret program in which the government was setting up sonic detectors to determine if the USSR, which is what it was called then, had created an atomic weapon or not.
Crazy.
Yeah. How would I don't even know how a balloon would detect that.
Well, they had these sensors attached to the balloons. So that was what the FBI and the CIA released when they released these documents, was they declassified that project. It was called Project Mogul. And they sent these sensors up into the upper atmosphere that could detect sonic vibrations from far away.
Oh, okay. I see what they're saying. So that makes sense.
Yeah. But the balloon was the carrier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what Brazel had found were just the remnants of this,
allegedly.
Alleged. And this was a time when the idea of visitors from another planet was sweeping the nation and the world.
Can I ask a question?
Go
though?
for it, buddy.
Was this also a time when people confused paper and foil and sticks and tape for UFOs?
I think so.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Because nothing says, interspace travel
like
paper and tinfoil and sticks. Maybe little pieces of rubber. But like I was saying, this is the time when the idea of visitors from other planets, though, was sweeping the nation and the world. And even though the rumors and gossip spread that were the flying discs in the Roswell area, the military had brushed it off as just a weather balloon. And with time, Roswell just went back to being the quiet little southwestern town that it is. And it stayed that way until the 70s. And in the 70s, science fiction was a big thing. Star Wars, Alien,
Scientology,
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. During this time period, people called ufologists, UFOologists.
I bet they're hot.
Started talking about different conspiracy theories involving the incident in Roswell in 1947. Roswell had been described as the world's most famous, most exhaustively investigated, and most thoroughly debunked UFO claim.
That breaks my heart.
It does kind of break my heart a little bit too.
I just want it to be true.
But let's go back to that day in 1947.
Right. I'm there.
Okay.
Everything's black and white.
Everything's black and white, and yeah.
Everything's starched. My whole outfit is starched.
My socks are ironed.
My hair is starched.
My hair is starched. This man called Sheriff Wilcox called on the military and Major Jesse Marcel, as well as Lieutenant Colonel Sheridan Cabot and Master Sergeant Bill Rickett, and arrived at the ranch where more pieces of debris were found. Can
I just say that those names all sound made up?
They absolutely probably are made up. I completely agree.
Okay. I just want to put that out there.
They found and collected and analyzed more pieces of the debris. Okay.
I don't even know her.
I don't either. Debris. Debris. On July 8th, though, 1947, Roswell Army Airfield, Public Information Officer Walter Hott, issued a press release which claimed personnel from the field's 509th Operations Group had recovered a flying disc, all of which had crashed on a ranch near Roswell.
Wait, so this was the first statement that what would become the Air Force put out? Was that it was a flying disc?
Yeah, they changed it. They changed it pretty fast.
Okay.
But, however, the excitement around that fact that there were, might have been a UFO found started to build.
Right.
Eyewitnesses started coming out and saying all these crazy things about it, giving their own fascinating accounts of the mysterious object, as well as the idea that alien bodies had been recovered from the crash site.
Holy crap. So, that is just insane. And also, growing up in a small town in New Mexico, I know how quickly that got out of hand. Everyone's cousins and aunts and everybody just shows up.
Oh, me too. I saw it. I saw it too.
Yeah. No. I saw the aliens. They were yellow,
they were yellow, green, gray. They were
gray. They were gray.
Shorter. Tall is short. And they were fairly skinny,
fat. Yeah, crazy. The Roswell Daily Record, however, described it in the July 9th, which is the next day, edition as follows, quote, "The balloon, which held it up, if that's how it worked, must have been 12 feet long. Brazel felt, measuring the distance by size of the room in which he sat. The rubber was smoky gray in color and scattered over an area about 200 yards in diameter. When the debris was gathered up, the tinfoil, paper, tape, and sticks made a bundle about 3 feet long and 7 or 8 inches thick."
So that's not very much.
Mm-mm. And while the rubber made a bundle of about 18 to 20 inches long and about 8 inches thick, in all he estimated the entire lot would have weighed maybe 5 pounds.
Okay, so are we actually saying that this is a spaceship?
Well,
parts of a spaceship? I mean, I guess, what is my definition of what a spaceship is or what it would look like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's nothing at all. Maybe it's barely anything. Maybe is what it takes to be able to travel through space is super, super light, nothing materials. I don't know.
There wasn't a sign of any metal though.